The game is not ending.
The game is not ending.
Please start and renew.
The game is done. I have 20.
You have 20. You have covered below 20.
And below 20.
Yeah.
I can have 20 now.
20 and
Below 20 is not 20 and below.
It's 20 and...
Oh, Jemo. It's me next.
No.
No, it's me
Have you
playing.
picked?
It's Tracy.
Just you playing, yes.
Yes, I'm going to play. Chichi. Kakana.
How does he pick 3 is mean? What's up?
Before you unveil the card,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I'm a documentary photographer.
Okay, so what's that like?
I tell stories of people using photography, especially social issues, everyday life issues. That's what I do.
Okay.
Can
Yeah.
unveil the card.
I'm going to just neutralize the whole thing.
Is that allowed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cards at the same time?
Yes.
Tracy, what do you do?
Me. I'm a designer.
Hey, you're not creative.
Not a creative.
I'm a
I was
creative
telling you,
anyway.
the term creative is so broad.
It's so broad.
Yeah.
broad.
Like,
He's a designer creative.
yes.
Tracy.
I'm sorry.
If someone
Anything
changes
that
this name.
is not that is outside, but I don't think so because we have creatives who have like a 9 to 5 p.m. right?
Yeah, I think a creative is
PP.
anyone. As long as you're producing things out of thin air.
It's coming
As long
out
as they're
of you.
artistic. Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
out of you. It can be thought, it can be anything. But it's
Yeah.
mostly, I think, around thought.
So
Because
creative
creatives
make things out
create.
of nothing.
To some extent. To some extent. Because
think
you
the
create.
the least extent.
Yeah, to the
So when you
to the
talk
most
about
extent.
evolving as a creative, is it really that you are evolving, like you're becoming something you're not? Because I feel like if you're creating things from us, it's like we have always been those things, and then they just need to come out in one through graphics or through photography, like through another way. So I'm wondering what evolving means for us. Does it mean we become a creative, or does
So-
it mean we've always been a creative and now?
I picked.
You
grow.
picked, eh?
I picked.
Did you pick?
Yes, I picked. You give me a pick too. I started playing
I want
like two
flowers.
thingies, right?
Elijah, you see,
Doesn't pick
my
Fine.
cards.
Fine.
Oh no, I put my card. Yeah, I said on flowers.
You want flowers?
That's allowed.
Okay.
Yes.
So you,
Hey,
asked,
you want flowers?
so you were saying evolving is becoming
I
the
was
creative.
asking, so for a creative, is evolving, what does evolving mean for us? Does it mean, because I feel like you've always been that. Yes, even when you didn't know you were. So does evolving mean becoming a creative? Or does it mean you're already a creative and now those things come out of you in different phases?
As you play.
I think evolving is definitive in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like growth.
Yeah.
Like, how did you grow as a creative? I think becoming a professional, which I had a question about being professional, because how do you know you're professional? There are no
Yeah.
standards.
Yeah.
There are no standards for us as creatives. Am I creative? I'm not sure.
I feel like that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Having no standards as creatives.
But how do you know that you need to evolve? Like, what's that moment like?
I think the system sort of shows you.
Like, give us an example.
Yeah, you're playing.
Me?
Yeah. An
Oh
example.
my God. Pee.
Like I think there will be growth happening and
Spade.
things are going on and you're either not being invited or you're not being relevant and then realize, how do I make myself relevant?
But I didn't play.
You picked.
No.
No, it is you
I
playing.
didn't.
So I feel like for you to get to a point where you have quote unquote premium paying clients, don't you think you need to have developed a certain voice that they identify with.
Yeah. That's why it's important to
so it does
niche.
not, I feel like it doesn't take away your creativity as
Yeah.
a creative. But I feel like when we stay in that level where we're all just creatives, then you just attract everyone.
I think that's why I disagree.
Because you're passionate about small
Because
businesses.
it's not about for you, it's not about your style as the creative. Someone's picking this theory, but they're
I
not
picked
picking
it.
it.
Yes, psychology.
I think it's really
Sorry.
those three things. Those are things that determine.
Oh my lord.
Jesus.
Where is your comeback, Elijah?
It has to be black, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is well.
Amen.
How about I don't like the fonts on the cards?
Oh, please.
The fonts are fine.
Looks like Malo condensed. Anyway, back to the topic. I don't think having a personality as creative is beneficial to your customers. Because then all your customers will look the same. Yet each of them has something that makes it different. There's a difference. If whenever you had probably the same clients in the same industry, and they're both probably travel industries, if you had the same style, you give them the same design or the same photos. But if you're bringing out what makes them different, or their particular story, how makes them different, then you're the creative because you're bringing out what they couldn't visualize.
Yes, but then I
Express who they
think
are.
now it now comes down to how you niche. You may niche and say I want to do design for travel companies. So that can be the niche instead of okay now when it comes to like premium brands, it's very easy for them to look alike. But you have to be even more creative to make sure they don't look alike. So it's up to
So
you.
is it about how the design
It's
is
me
looking
playing, right?
alike, or
Yeah,
actually the logo being an expressive medium of the company?
What do you mean by expressive medium?
Because the logo is supposed to like a story, I think. It's an identifier, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be expressive in terms of how it looks,
Yes.
but it sort of like tells a story about the design. Who's playing? So, if you can't tell that story properly, then you're not creating, right?
So how can you tell that story properly except you have a certain voice that makes you the storyteller? Because I imagine all of us as creatives at the core of us is we are telling stories.
What do you mean I played?
Very interesting.
So,
So a creative is a person who can interpret someone's dream,
Yes.
not using their dream.
but no, it's
Like
it
you're
has to be a,
confusing
there
voice
has to be a
and
style.
dream. You're confusing voice and dream.
Right. Go on.
Okay, if you say if we just take creatives
It's your
and
turn.
I've picked. If you say we just take creatives and there's no need to have like your particular voice, don't you think we're going to become duplicates of each other?
No.
Now as creatives.
You don't become a duplicate because why? The entity at the end of the other channel is different. Unless the businesses do the same thing. Because I think that part of where you're creative is because you want to bring sort of like a new idea into the market. Right?
Yeah.
Suppose the business be like, you know what? We are Apple, we stand for innovation, we stand for, that's me.
Tracy?
Me.
We stand for
Oh my
innovation, stand for
God,
these different
people.
things. And then you as a creative either bring out that story in photos, in videos, in designs. And so you're able to bring out what they stand for, makes them different from other businesses. Not how
Yes.
differently you can do their work. That's why I say that you can't become duplicates because the people you're working on are all different.
Yes. I agree.
So that means it's not about your style, it's about how well you bring out their story differently from others.
Yes.
So that process of how will you bring out your story, that thinking process that makes you interpret
And you give me
people's,
spades.
that makes you
I'm the one
interpret
who asked for
people's.
spades, boss.
Hey, can't you give us spades?
Me.
Wait.
You.
No.
The
The
reverse
game.
game.
It's actually you.
The game has
It's
reversed.
actually
Spades,
you. Yeah.
Hey, call.
Anna.
Thank you, man.
What have I done to you?
PP.
So you guys agree that it's not about you having your
Oh
personal
my
style?
God.
Like, what are you doing?
Cut we go.
Flowers.
Cut.
Man, PP.
So you guys agree that it's not about you having your personal style as a creative. Probably me I use Gil, right? Pun intended. Or you use Helvetica, or you use Comic Sans, whatever it is. It's about you bringing out the font that expresses the thing that the client does.
So
Yes.
my question was.
So it's not about your style.
Yeah.
We agree
But
there.
you can
No,
have
there
a style
should
in the
have a
way you
style.
bring it
You should
out.
have a
Agree with
style
your
as a creative.
explanation, but now that thinking process, the way you think, the way you interpret other people's
Exactly.
dreams, what do you call that process? Because it's unique to only you.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
then
how
that means-
No
unique.
other designer
Okay.
thinks that way.
Then what makes up creatives different is how they bring out the other people's.
And that
Yes.
thing is one you're calling voice. Like you have your own voice.
It's more of a sort of voice, really.
Identity.
Kanzali.
It's a touch.
It's a kanzali.
But then all those things, the processes and what, are all learned from other creatives. Not like processes we use for designing logos. Most people get from either Crystal
But-
or some other guy. So everyone uses the same process, but different product.
But the
Who's
inspiration.
playing?
We asked
I asked for flowers.
Me.
Yeah.
I picked.
Eh.
Tracy.
I picked.
Okay.
This is the card I picked.
Game is not ending. Mm-hmm.
The game is not ending.
Please cut and we mute.
The game is done. I have 20.
You have 20. You have covered below 20.
And below 20.
Yeah.
I can have 20 now.
20 and
Below
below.
20 is not 20 and below.
It's 20 and...
Oh, Jemo. I have what? Yes, so we learn the process from different creatives. Like we all learn from each other, and I think that's why designs start to look the same because we get inspiration from the same places. Pinterest, Save It, Behance, Dribble.
Yeah.
What would I have used?
Everything.
Everything.
Behance mostly, right?
Yeah, Instagram, Behance, people's
But how do you know
people's
you've evolved?
websites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know you've evolved?
I think for me, in my case, evolving. How do I know that I've evolved? Is
Like from where you were, I think
Yeah.
it's based on what you were doing at the very start to where you are now. So how do you know that you're evolving?
I think, like the explanation he gave, we all use the same people's examples, like
Yeah.
we duplicate other people's processes. I feel like in the beginning, you're imitating
Yeah.
a lot of the people that you see on Instagram, you see elsewhere who are inspiring you. But I feel like as you grow on, you don't stop taking the pictures you saw other people taking. But again, I'm going to bring back the one that Elijah is not agreeing with voice. I feel like with time, my own voice has come through. There is a way I relate and connect with people.
It's the way you choose the angles.
Yes. Like
frame the
my
photo.
choice of an angle might depend on how I've connected with that person, how intimate the conversation has been, which may not be the case with another person. Like for example, in photography, it will even affect which lens I use. It might affect which lens I use.
Your
Because
voice affects the lens.
like for example, I might meet someone and we have a conversation, and then me like I'm a people person, so like I want to connect with you and have a conversation with you, and then you might get very comfortable, and then it's like such a close space, and I'm going to use a wide angle because I'm seated next to you, we are taking tea. There's a photographer who might be an introvert, and it's you playing.
Reverse back to you.
To me, why I didn't ask you. I want flowers.
That's what she
Oh my god, pee.
I know, right? So, there might be another photographer
were
who
saying.
comes. For them, they're an introvert. They might end up using like a telephoto.
But I think evolving is relative to who you are as a person and what your goals are like. Because you can't know. Because for another person, I think I have grown. That person thinks I have not grown.
Yeah.
And like there's no standard.
There should be
because
like parameters.
they
Like
couldn't. They can't
some,
be.
they're
Yeah, there has to
no,
be
I think they're
Like
individual.
Yeah, that's why I think
Like,
it's relative. Is that,
maybe
But there
I'm
must be
earning
some
more money.
universal ones that
Maybe
we can
I
agree
am more
on.
knowledgeable in the field.
that depends on the market.
I think maybe the first can be when you see your first work versus what you're able to do now.
Yeah.
What?
I doubt. What if someone else is doing the very same work, just that they're
Yes, for
getting
them,
more
they are,
money
for them
now?
they are worse. But like they can do very bad work and still get paid
I get
more
it.
money than the person who does better
I
work.
picked.
does.
Yeah.
You
Because of
playing.
opportunity. But all of them are evolving to their own level.
It's you playing.
Kasujangula nyuma.
And I'm enjoying our game.
It's okay.
I thought you said it back to me.
No.
So it's me playing, right?
Yes, evolving is relative.
Yeah.
But it's important that you evolve.
So maybe evolving for creative is like defining happiness. You
Happiness.
Like you find the things that define happiness for you. You don't have to be the same like for another person.
Yeah.
You're playing.
So like maybe then for evolving for creative, you define those parameters that you're talking about.
Yeah, as an
Then
individual.
You say, yeah, as an individual.
Yeah.
But I think there's one thing a friend told me about how to know if you're growing as a creative. Is you go on LinkedIn
Victor.
and then you search for your job position. And then you
As if
look at
it's
the
still there.
requirements they ask for. And if you like have we will verse with those things they have asked for, then you know that you're growing. So if you know you miss out on probably they're asking for probably a creative designer who knows how to use InDesign, Illustrator,
Who knows how to
Photoshop.
edit videos?
Yes, videos. and then you can tell from that whether you actually know those things, you're like you're well equipped for those positions like that, or you stay with your Illustrator, and when you go for a job interview or work that requires using other apps, you fail. I picked.
Yeah.
Mm.
Flowers.
So LinkedIn is a good place. Depending on the job market, I think it's important that you use that as sort of like a yardstick to know if you're growing, because if you don't give or make it what it wants, you get left out. So LinkedIn is a good place to start.
It's a good place, and I agree with it. But I also have a bad. Like sometimes the employers and people who write the job descriptions have no clue, an
Me.
idea how creatives are set up.
You played this.
So I feel like sometimes they ask for the
You played
impossible
this.
from a creative,
I
and they
picked.
create unnecessary pressure for us to evolve.
Who played this?
So you find like, let's say Victor is a very gifted graphics designer and he wants a job in a particular place. And then when he goes on LinkedIn, they're telling him you must know video editing, you must know animation, you must be able to use a camera and do photography. And then I feel like if he really wants a job, he's going to be forced to spread thin.
No, of course.
Just
Then
to
there is
get
a
control.
you have
What's
this
that thing?
You have
shape, T-shape.
no. I think then you have to look at companies
First wait, guys.
that are
Who's played?
Victor.
Guys, I played this card.
And then people picked.
Everyone else picked.
Yes.
Yes.
Winner card.
Yes, she picked. She played a 6. I picked. So your turn. So you look at Fortune 500
Spades.
companies because people understand those
You've
things.
got the solution.
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
Kasuja, kulaba.
Before they cut.
Okay. Oh my god.
You're picking
I don't
again?
even have space to.
Man, just
Friend.
Which Turin
It's for me.
Why didn't you first let me?
The
do
guy is
that?
here still watching play.
so as
I already loading.
as we shuffle.
Yeah.
So Fortune 500 companies, I think, have an appreciation for those things, how a creative is positioned. That's why you look at Google, there's like a UI UX researcher, there's a UI UX designer. So like for one role, which someone in Africa does alone, those guys do, it's very cool. So if they're saying you're hiring a UX researcher, there are those different requirements you need from a UX researcher. So you don't look at the small companies, because
You're
those
picking
ones
7.
are probably startups.
Then I had the one.
First pick 2 and see if you have hope.
So and here's the card.
So I had one more to pick
do you have
from last
cut?
time,
How
then
do you-
Tracy.
Let me
Because the
play.
cards are done,
Let me
and Tracy
play.
would have cut by now.
No.
Eh?
Where do you think she's removing
Cut,
all her
and
tools?
this guy is going out now.
Influence. Yo, I'm just, when you're speaking, I thought
I know
about
about
another
that.
type of
Playing.
evolving. Maybe also evolving means as you get good at the one skill you have, you become competent at it, and then you find yourself venturing into other things.
Yeah.
Like for example, in my case, as I got good at photography, I found myself venturing into writing. And then it was comfortable for me. It's like as if you start looking into other things which can support your primary creative
Yeah.
role.
That's when you know
Yeah,
you're
that's
evolving.
actually when I think that a person is evolving. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
And then they
not
start
your work,
merging
yeah.
together.
When
Yeah.
you're able to like get into other supporting fields,
Yeah.
and like have like some knowledge to use to support your field.
An intermediate level.
Did you pick 3?
And I had the thing here.
You had
I
a
had the comeback.
It's okay.
Unfortunately.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You already picked.
I should change this game before you
What's
come
your,
back.
what's your experience?
But open your card.
What's your experience working with a client who didn't respect you as a creative?
You need
my
to
experience
have
must been
manners.
My very first travel assignment, maybe even my
Elijah.
first photography assignment. It was with a travel company.
Oh. First play again.
So it's me now.
Yes.
Sort of in the
Someone
company.
just reduced the cut the game rather.
She
She
can't.
can't. She's above 20.
Now I have a card and I want diamonds. So the travel company
Tracy, do you have people?
told me they couldn't pay me per day. But then
You
they
charge
Going
per
to
day?
win.
yeah.
She's
Hey.
going
How do you
to
guys judge
win.
in-
Just,
in charging
just win.
You charge the amount of work.
Just
for that
win.
project.
Hey. Oh my God. I'm winning. I'm winning.
No, Tracy had the cut.
We live in the same bus for charge per day.
Yeah. In photography, we charge per day.
Yeah.
How do you charge in graphics design?
Per project, I think.
Depends on the designer, really.
Yeah.
You can charge per hour.
Really? We're speaking
Yes.
to you. Where how do you charge?
You can charge per hour. You can charge per client.
I feel like the more I've evolved, the more I've become a bit more standard.
So,
So
do you
it's come
increase your prices every year?
No, I think she's saying she doesn't
The
take
past-
low-level clients.
No, standard means that for everyone, I think, right? Standard
I think I've come to a
charge for
point where
everyone.
I'm able to say no to someone who can't afford my services. As
Shade,
opposed to when I was
shade,
starting out.
shade. For that reason, we'll start with a K.
When I was starting out, I would really take on work from anyone. So someone giving you 300,000, someone giving you 400. Like you take on work from everyone. And I feel like as you evolve
Man,
and you grow, you get a bit more confidence.
some flowers.
Some flowers. You,
Yeah.
why?
Because
So you said, so when did you stop? When did you stop taking on every client?
I feel like part of the evolution process is the clients you get, they also help you evolve. Because they recommend you to their colleagues.
So part of evolving
picking.
is coming up with standard pricing for your work.
I mean,
I think it happens
Pipi.
naturally.
And bear, but it's part of the evolving process.
Yes.
That you start
It's
to-
part of the results of evolving.
Diamond.
I want.
Sure.
what do you want?
Someone change that thing because
I agree that. I think
Pipi.
that part of everything as a creative is changing your pricing. Apart from learning other sporting goals that support the one you do, I think part of it is also your pricing, that it becomes a standard and you stop, I don't want to say nonsense, but like you become,
Price discrimination.
You leave people,
Nice,
clients,
yeah.
for other people who are also in their process of evolving and becoming.
I think it's more of pride, like, never
But
mind
who
me.
has this color?
So, learning supporting roles,
Learning, supporting
standard
roles,
pricing.
pricing,
Pipi.
getting more standardized, yes.
That's also, if you've ever as a creative, do you start to do away with imposter syndrome? Or that's a thing that remains, however good you are, however long you've been in the game,
Man.
you still face imposter syndrome.
I think imposter syndrome. I think it must stay with you.
Must stay.
I think it's the thing that makes us better. For some reason. I don't know.
Good. Play.
Because if
There is it making you better and it taking you to depression. You ever seen to work and the client say this is boring?
But you always meet a challenging client, however high you go.
Yeah, there's always be someone who thinks you're not good enough.
everyone thinks you're trash, you're charging way more than
However, there'll always be someone who's actually better than you.
The boogeyman.
Yeah, you always have a boogeyman.
Relax. Relax.
You don't want me to finish.
But first wait.
God is not on
What
your
color
side,
is
my
cutting?
dear.
She's finishing.
Game up. So what was the final thing we agreed on?
Pricing and learning supporting goals.
Learning
And
supporting
then
roles.
imposter syndrome doesn't go away. Do you have imposter syndrome?
I feel like imposter syndrome becomes something positive.
Do you have
Yeah.
imposter
It
syndrome?
becomes comparing notes to get better or to expand your own thinking. Like for me in photography now, what would be imposter syndrome has become me looking at another photographer's work and being able to understand from what point of view they created it.
But how did you move from feeling bad to choosing to learn from that
Yeah,
person?
because you've been feeling very bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Yo, like this is boring. you're like, at least would have said, give us another version. But boring.
I think when you keep consistent, the process rewards you. And those little moments of being rewarded, they inspire you to sort of become confident and then create your own thing. Yeah.
It's me. Check.
This
This is how we've started.
I feel like it translates into something different. It translates into comparing notes, but for good, not for bad.
Yeah.
It translates into appreciating diversity. Okay, that's
My
my
God.
experience.
Just
now.
happened.
I'm able to appreciate diversity. I'm able to look at. Is it Yeah, just
Before she even looks at her cards.
Okay, Lu.
Didn't come back to bite me. But I have to do it.
Oh,
So,
Fine.
After the card has moved. Man, you're too slow.
so who's playing?
It's me.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna give Tracy back. I don't know. I'm bringing Elijah on my side.
That means
Should
even
we put
bad
him back?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fire, burn them on the mountain.
what are you guys playing?
As we continue.
So I think imposter syndrome is something that maybe you
Simply.
also have to. You
I've played this.
played it. So I'll have hats.
Should we know?
Me? Oh, PP.
Are you catching?
Play.
That's
Game
hats.
on.
I knew she has hats. She has won the games. And those are 5 games.
Sarap.
I think the question then we ask is,
How do you know?
are we really
Are
evolving?
we really evolving as creatives in Uganda?
Are
How
you-
does
are you
evolving
evolving?
look like?
Me. Yes.
At what
What
stage of
are
the
you
evolving process are
prioritizing?
you? Learning supporting roles or standardized pricing?
I passed the standardized pricing part. I'm now on learning, supporting
So you
field.
charge the standard.
Yes.
Everyone.
So you're also saying no to some clients.
Yes, I really say no to some clients because
I mean, don't say
sometimes the stress is not worth it.
Yeah.
Really?
But yeah. Like that money is not worth it sometimes.
Depends on the client. I think people don't know how to manage
No,
bad
there are some clients who are really just
There is no one who's not
evil.
manageable.
Yeah.
There is no one who's not manageable.
They
I think
expect you
that's,
to
that's-
produce.
It's okay. I'll be sending them to you.
Skyscraper in the budget of
Auntie,
a
I'm
budget.
People who are
debating
not
it.
manageable.
There is no client who's
There are
not
clients
manageable.
who are not manageable.
They're there.
But it's possible to manage a bad
You asked me
client.
about my worst experience.
Uh-huh.
It was a client who was not manageable.
What happened?
Let's see. He says we can't pay you per day. We can give you a lump sum of 500K. We shall give you accommodation and transport. It was a travel company.
Say the name.
So when you travel, we travel like 3, 4, 5
Want to
days.
blacklist them.
And then, so part of the negotiation was you still have your work, so you can also use it for your marketing. And then as
It's a trap.
yeah, as basic courtesy, you're like, okay, if you share my work, please do give me photo credit. Because you're beginning as a photographer, and at least you want, if there's anything I should get out
Everybody
of
see.
here,
Yeah.
people in your community should see that I did this
At least
work.
some
Yeah.
And then
exposure.
when it came to time for delivery, he says, no, we are owning the photos 100%. You're not allowed to use them.
Did you have a contract?
No contract in that case. I
So
think.
we're supposed to sign a contract. That was my first lesson, right? We're supposed to sign a contract. So you had it drafted. When like they make things last minute of like we're traveling tomorrow, but still the contract is there. We're going to sign. So on the day I'm supposed to receive the payment is the day as being given the contract to sign.
And they had
And it
changed it.
didn't matter what was in the contract. It mattered that before I was given that brings a conversation of do you get a deposit before or not. It mattered when I was picking the payment, it would not be given to me unless I agree that I'm never going to use the photos. And then they would not give me any photo credit. How do you manage such a client?
What was your problem? You didn't make your thing is your.
She was young
conditions.
and naive.
And that's what I'm trying to say is that if you make everything you want clear to the client, and you have it in form, it doesn't have to be a contract. But as long as you agree, and he says that I'm going to pay you this much, you're going to give me credit, yes and yes. You write a list, and then he writes and responds, yes, this is what I've agreed with. Unless to some extent it's mentally perturbed.
In a long story short, I didn't give them the work, then they kept their money.
Boss moves.
Boss moves, man.
So anyway, at least you traveled.
Right?
Bye.